Tannehill wanted a loaded up long. Double coverage on Brown. And
he's in bounds. He might go. 99 yards.
Flicker action. Tannehill taking a chance towards the end zone, and it is caught. A.J. Brown.
Tannehill will take it all the way. They won't catch him.
Goodbye. What is going on, Titans Nation? Titans Universe here to talk about the Titans win over the Seattle Seahawks. And man, what a win it was. That was a battle the Titans had to go through to get that win. It seemed like the game was over when it was 30-16 and freaking Russell Wilson threw a touchdown, blown coverage, and I was just like, well, yep, that seems about right. Kind of how the game's been feeling. But after that 60-yard touchdown, everything just changed. The team had so much momentum going into it. And like I said, this was a battle for the Titans. They had a lot of things going against them. The Ryan Tannehill fumble had a couple of field goals which they could have cashed in, which they should have cashed in into the end zone. Julio touchdown that was called back, which is a stupid rule that you have to get your heel down and if you're facing backwards on the end zone. But if you're facing forward in the end zone, you can just get your toe down and it's called in. That's a stupid rule. Shouldn't be a rule. And either way, I feel like it was not enough evidence for them to overturn that. His heel looked like it was in. Even if it was a blade of white grass that he touched, that's not enough evidence to overturn a touchdown. So yeah, that was a dumb call. And then there was the Chris Carson play, which the refs called it a first down, but he was clearly a yard short from the first down, and the ref just moved the ball to the first down marker. Like, that was crazy. There was some questionable calls on the Seahawks too, like that taunting play. I was shaking my head even though that play could have cost the Titans the game. The officiating was just bad in this game. But let's talk about some of the players. Ryan Tannehill had an okay game. He had a pretty good game. He did what he had to do. He had that fumble in which he was hitting the blind side. Like, that's not too much of his fault, but he's got to have better ball control and more awareness. But he was getting hit all day. And that's another thing. Ryan Tannehill was getting hit like roughing the passer, like no calls all game. Like, he was being hit in the head, and none of the refs were calling it. He was just getting cheap shot after cheap shot, and the refs weren't calling it. And I'm glad he's okay. There was one point in the game where he ran, and he came down a little awkward, and I was like, oh my God, is he hurt? But he got right back up and seemed fine. I feel like he could have done better if he had gotten a little bit better pass protection in some of these plays. Like the Julio touchdown, if he had got better pass protection, he could have had more time to throw it to Julio, and it would have been actually inbounds. Instead of him having to time it and throw it out like a way above Julio, and Julio have to go catch it and try to get his feet in. But yeah, 347 yards passing. He didn't get no touchdown, which it should have been one touchdown on the stat sheet, but he didn't get it. But that's still okay game. The Julio we have been waiting for has arrived. He looks like the clear number one wide receiver as of this game. Had a great 51-yard catch. Had a couple of crucial first downs. He did have a drop, I think, but all in all, Julio looked great. Somebody who had a bad game was A.J. Brown. I think he had 6 drops in this game. He didn't have a good game, but I don't expect A.J. to hold this. He shouldn't hold this against him. It's just one game. I'm pretty sure he's going to bounce back next week and look like the A.J. of last year. So I wouldn't be too concerned about A.J. And Derrick Henry. I don't see how people are still saying he is not the best running back in the league. This man has put this team on his back multiple occasions. I don't know if any other running back in the league could have won this game like Derrick Henry did. This is the most special running back I think we've ever had in franchise history. I'm calling it. I'm calling it. Derrick Henry is the most special running back we've had in franchise history. I'm just going to say it. I know Chris Johnson was great and Eddie George was great, but they do not put a team on their back like Derrick Henry does. There was times where Eddie George did put the team on his back, but not as consistent as Derrick Henry is. But he had 182 yards, I think, today, 3 touchdowns. He had 6 receptions, which is actually a game record for Derrick Henry. Let Derrick Henry mess around and become a receiving back. Ain't nobody gonna take that number 1 spot from him. So let's get to the defense. Kind of mixed feelings with the defense. They did have some bad plays, but when it did count, they got the job done. They actually did get some pressure on Russell Wilson, which is probably the best pass rush I've seen the Titans have in two seasons, which isn't saying much because the pass rush last year was just god-awful. But they were actually getting to Russell Wilson, putting pressure on him, making him do some bad throws, getting some sacks. Did a lot better this week than last week. Harold Landry had a good game. Denico Autry had a sack, so he had a pretty okay performance. I think Jeffrey Simmons had a half a sack, but this is actually a game where I don't really think he did that well. There was times where you could see him having some problems with the run game and with some tackling. And I don't even remember if I seen Bud Dupree do anything. Did Bud Dupree do anything? I don't know. Y'all can tell me in the comments, because I don't remember him having any type of presence in this game. But the player I want to talk about it for this game is Christian Fulton. He's looking like the best player on this secondary, and they're like without a doubt. He has been playing good football. I know you can say he let up a touchdown, but I don't think that's Fulton's fault. It looked like it was zone coverage, and Fulton passed it off to Jackson, and Jackson just got beat. Which they did have some boneheaded plays today, like McDougal. He's not good. He is just not good. He is terrible. He made this defense look worse than it was this game. That Tyler Lockett play was just sad. That was just sad. Like, he even helped Tyler Lockett get a touchdown that play. Tyler Lockett made both defenders look like a fool, because Janoris Jenkins and Christian Fulton both had okay games. Jenkins had a okay game. Fulton had a good game, and just those blown coverages just made it look worse than it was. Like, they were actually doing something they did not do last year, and that was stopping the team on third down. Like, the Seahawks did not have a good third down percentage. I actually like the defensive performance this game. It's just those blown coverages, like I said, just made it look way worse than it was. Oh, and we actually had a good performance from the kicker. Bullock actually did a good job. He had one missed field goal, but when it counted, he got it done. Kicked the game winner. Made 3 field goals. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the offensive line. Like, is it just me, or did the offensive line kind of look a little bit more better when Taylor Lewan wasn't playing? I'm not saying that it was all because of Taylor Lewan. Yeah, he might have been rusty last week, but Taylor Lewan is just frustrating me. It seems like he's injury prone. Like, I would love for him to go back to Pro Bowl Taylor Lewan, and hopefully he gets healthy and he comes back and becomes Pro Bowl Taylor Lewan, but he's just been frustrating as of lately. And I think Roger Saffold got hurt as well. It's kind of weird how Tannehill didn't get sacked as much this game, even though we had some injuries. We can just hope that they get better week by week, because if I have to see that performance that they did in Arizona, we'd have to worry about Ryan Tannehill's health. He has been doing great ever since he's been with the Titans of staying healthy, but there's only so much a person can take before it wears on them. So we just need to just hope that the line gets better week to week and let the defense clean up a little bit. And I actually think this is a Super Bowl contending team. Now, am I going to say we're going to win the Super Bowl? Probably not, but I do think that the Titans can be a threat out of all the other teams in the AFC. I see it's the Chiefs, Titans, Browns, Ravens, and the Bills. That's the top 5 teams I think that could contend for the Super Bowl in the AFC. But yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comments below about this game. How did y'all feel about the offense and defensive performances? And also, let me know how y'all feel about the Titans moving forward. Do you feel confident in this team that they've shook the rust off and can perform the way we think they can week to week? And also, what do y'all think about the referee calls? This has been Titans Universe, and until my Colts and Titans preview, I'm signing out. Bye.